Yesterday was 6th December, the day of Babri demolition, Shaurya Divas for the nationalists. However, some other section of the people of India have decided to commemorate Babri demolition in a different way. Say, for example, in Kerala, the Popular Front of India is commemorating Babri in a peculiar way. They have made a badge with I am Babri written on it, and they're putting those badges on the uniform of school-going children. They have targeted absolutely children, and they have caught them young. They have decided to insert certain formatted, one-sided information into the brains of those kids. On the other hand, come to Jawaharlal Nehru University of Delhi. Some students of JNU are demanding reconstruction of Babri Masjid, and they don't want reconstruction of Babri Masjid anywhere else. They want reconstruction of Babri Masjid exactly on the place where it stood. I don't want to elaborate much of this particular attitude because leaders are talking about it. I don't want to talk on this. However, I have certain other arguments to raise. I want to provide certain food for thought for all. Question number 1. In India, should we consider the masjids and the mandirs equally? Is a mandir to a Hindu is equivalent to a masjid to a Muslim? Should mandirs and masjids get equal status in India? Apparently, such questions may appear baseless and funny also. However, once I elaborate, one comes to realize that these questions are not funny. They have certain basis. For example, why the mandirs are our religious places? The mandirs are our religious places because they are the abodes of the deity. The deity stays there. A mandir is the house of the deity, and we go to meet the deity there. And hence mandirs are religious places. They are no public places. Similarly, in churches, though God himself doesn't stay there, however, God's own child, Jesus Christ, and his symbol, the cross, exists there. And people come to offer their prayers there to the symbol of God, to the child of God. So, divine connotation is there within the churches too. Similarly, in Gurdwaras also, Guru Granth Sahib is worshipped and chanted. Divine connotation is there in Gurdwara also. So, all these religious places, all the mandirs, all varieties of mandirs are having the existence of divinity within them. Even the shrines, the Muslim shrines, the shrines of peers, etc., they are also religious places because they also have divine connotation. The shrines of some preachers, blessed by Allah. So, they are also, the shrines are also religious places. But how about masjids? The masjids do not have any link with the divinity. Within the masjid, there is no link. There is nothing that contains any divine connotation. And that is why Supreme Court, during the Ram Mandir hearing, Supreme Court also observed that it is not at all necessary for the Muslims to go to a masjid to offer prayers. And we also have seen that they offer prayers even on roads, on rail tracks, on grounds, anywhere and everywhere. This means that they do not require, they do not really require to go within a masjid. This proves that masjids are not religious places like mandirs, gurdwaras, churches are. So my question is, why then masjids are also being regarded as religious places and are being maintained as per Article 26 of the Constitution of India? The Article 26 of Constitution of India gives freedom to everyone to manage and maintain religious institutions in his or her own way. without any hassles. Masjids are also being maintained and managed as per Article 26, while they are no religious institution in reality. Treating equals as unequals is discrimination. In the same way, isn't treating unequals as equals also the same discrimination? Masjids being treated like the other religious institutions of India, like mandirs, churches and gurdwara, isn't it also discrimination and violation of the Constitution of India? In reality, it is. This was my argument 1. Now let me come to the argument 2. Masjids not being religious places, as also observed by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court observed that offering namaz, going to the masjid is not required. This means masjids do not have any requirement, any religious requirement that way. Hence, masjids are nothing but public places. If they are not religious places, of course they are public places. Privately owned, privately managed public places. Now come to the preamble of the Constitution of India. India is a secular country, not only secular by spirit, but the word secular has been written in clear terms on the very beginning of the Constitution in the preamble. The word secular means no religion. And that is the reason why every public place of India needs to be a no religion public place. However, when we come to the public places called masjids, they are not no religion public places. They are a single religion public place. Masjids are public places which allows practically and mainly people of only a single religion. Isn't this violating the secular tenet of Indian Constitution? It is violating, because there can be nothing called Muslim public place, because that becomes an oxymoron in a secular land. Had our country been a religious country, means had there been a state religion, then a place could have been interpreted as a religious place. However, when our country stands secular in written term, then how can any particular public place be Muslim public place? Doesn't it become an oxymoron? This was my argument 2. Now let me come to the argument 3. Since masjids are public places and not religious places, shall we assume that by means of constructing so many masjids, shall we assume that a section of the people are wanting to bring a larger share of the public place into their domain, into the domain of a single religion? Because the moment a public place gets converted into a masjid, it converts into the Muslim public place. So, the higher number, the greater the number of masjids a particular community can have, a larger share of the public place can be brought into their domain, into the domain of only a single religion. So, is it an expansionist idea? This is the question number 3. And the last question, if someone argues in this manner that since Muslim identity is solely a religious identity, that is why when Muslims go to pray in the masjid, since Muslim is solely a religious identity, that is the reason why, in spite of being public places, they do not remain public places anymore. They get converted into a religious place, because Muslims are nothing but only religious identity. If someone argues in this manner, then I am afraid that is fine. That way the masjids are the religious places, because Muslim identity is solely a religious identity. In that case, the question is, why are they going to pray or offer namaz in other places, in public places like ground, like road, like railway tracks? Is it also an expansionist idea? If a masjid can convert into a religious place simply because the Muslims are praying there, can also a road convert into a Muslim road because Muslims are offering namaz there? Isn't it a dangerous idea? I think it is a dangerous idea, and this was my last argument. And this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to serve this food for thought for all of us. Thank you very much.